My name is Manatara and my nickname is Bilan. I'm the founder of BILAN RK, which is a Scandinavian and East African design brand, fashion brand, where I merge Scandinavian and East African styles and create my own kind of imaginary aesthetic. So that's who I am, and I grew up in Denmark. I was born in Somalia. I came when I was 2, and yeah, I do pharmacy masters or pharmaceutical science. So yeah, that's who I am.
So how can you combine these two worlds you talk about as a pharmacist and as a designer? How can you do that?
I can, because I'm a multidimensional being. I have many sides of myself that I embrace. I don't have to only choose one career path, so I'm doing both. Because one is more like my creativity, and the other field is a science field that I'm interested in. So I guess that can work for me. It took a while to get there though, because I always you should only do one thing, but I don't have to do one thing.
So tell us what is happening here today.
What is happening today is I mainly exist online. I have a web shop, and that's because I don't have time to take care of a physical shop right now, because I'm doing my master's. So what I do sometimes, I do these pop-ups where people can come by and try on the clothes and touch it and see if it's for them. Or yeah, I just know I sometimes shop when I'm buying stuff to touch it and try it first. So I want my customers to have that opportunity as well.
How you do it? You design yourself, you sewing, you do everything by yourself? Or
yeah, I do. It's because I find it like a relief, because I'm in a science field, so it's nice to, use my hands and use my creativity to create something that I like, a new aesthetic. Yeah, so basically this is also art for me. It's not just only fashion, and fashion is art in itself, but a lot of people don't see it that way. And I'm also using a sustainable business model, yeah, so that requires me being in it.
What does it take you to come up with something like, I will today make this kind of design? What
I do is that I first, because I don't buy new garment unless it's locally sourced in East Africa by local indigenous people or people the culture come from. Unless it's from there, I don't buy new clothes or garment. I use what is already existing and available. And when I see those garments, that's when I start thinking about what design should I do now. Like for instance, these, these jungle hats are from some rest material. It's made of satin. They usually use it for, when they have a see-through dress or something. This is usually what they use as an underdress or under the jacket, the garment under the jacket and stuff. But yeah, I was like, why not make a jungle hat? So it's basically, I have to see the garment first. Where before, when I started, it was more I imagine a design and then I have to find the garment. Now it's the opposite. I have to see the garment first and what's available, and then create the design and follow the creativity. So yeah.
There's something that you said, I don't know if you already explained, but I really want to understand. You say that what you do is merge West Africa and Scandinavia coming together.
Yeah.
How does it work?
It's East Africa, but yeah, Scandinavian and East African styles or customs or aesthetics. In some ways they are similar, in other ways they are very different, because it's a warm climate around East Africa. Equator goes through those areas, a lot of them. So there's more perky colors. It's very interesting. Where Scandinavian fashion and design is more very simple, but aesthetically pleasing. So there's a lot of dissimilarity, but there's also a lot of similarity, and that's what I also learn for being who I am between those two worlds. Like there's a lot we have in common and there's a lot we don't, and it's beautiful to merge it in that sense through fashion and design.
That's very interesting. Many people don't know exactly when you say that East Africa, which part of the Africa we are talking about when you say East Africa?
I'm talking about, it's because like I'm Somali, and the Somali region is both located in Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Djibouti. So that's 4 countries where Somali people live. So that's why I say East Africa, to include all of them and not only Somalia. But I also have like used a lot of garment from Kenya when I was there. And so it's mainly from the Somali territories, but some are not. Some could be like from the I haven't used the Maasai tribes garments yet, because I'm very conscious about some big brands using Maasai garment, and then suddenly the local people cannot afford it. So I'm conscious about it. But like, for instance, the cultures we have in common with Kenya is like they use kanga, we call it karais, and it's like very similar. We just use it as a asymmetrical wrapped up dress where they use it as a skirt. So we have those similarities. So for instance, I could use that because that's a common thing we have in common. So that's why I say East Africa. There's like many reasons I say it, because there's a lot we have in common already. And also because the colonial borders don't include, like, people live on both sides of the borders and the same family and ethnicity. So that's also a decolonial way of expressing things and include people.
How is the fashion industry? I don't know if you have got any idea of Somalia, because you came here as a child, 2 years old.
Yeah.
Have you got any idea how it is fashioned in? Okay, let's put it the East Africa, not just Somalia. Let's put it in all these countries that you mentioned. How is
there's a lot of local designers, very talented and creative. So they're doing a lot there too, and a lot of it is like sustainable, and so they have their own fashion scene. What I'm doing is like I'm combining my worlds and creating an aesthetic. So yes.
There is a wave right now where people are thinking like Africa is the future. You, as living here in Scandinavia, have got all this knowledge that you acquire from this part of the world. Do you think that it will be an opportunity where your product, we talk about all this dress that you did, which is beautiful in just to let you know.
Thank you.
Do you think that to do or sell it or incorporate in Africa in general, not just in East Africa?
I mean, the reason I only stick to East Africa is because that's my origin. I don't feel like I can just appropriate other cultures, even though it's African. So I have to be like conscious about like profiting on like cultures that I'm not part of, even though it's African, but still like this is different because this is literally like my ancestry and my culture. So that's different, and compared to like incorporating other parts of the continent. If I was doing that, I would definitely include local designers. Maybe a local design team. So have to include the people from that culture. I think that's important.
What do you expect from your brand in the coming years?
In the coming years, what I want to do is like when I'm done with my masters, I would definitely like to have like a local boutique and a local place where that is like where I can hire people to help with the sewing, because I don't want to do it myself only. That's the future. And also like a lot of it is also to make young people or people who look like me feel empowered by seeing like their own culture existing in a like present and futuristic aesthetic. So that's also important for me, and I think that's what will keep pushing me to do what I do. I already do international shipping, so it's definitely like I want an international audience, but I also want my local audience, and that's why or customers, and that's why I do these local pop-ups. Yeah.
Okay, you said that you have got only you're currently just selling on online, or you've got a website where people can go and buy it if they're interested. Can just give out to the people.
Yeah. 3 times BILAN RK. Basically the name here, bilanrk.com. So it's just bilanrk.com. That's my website and web shop, so feel free to check it out. Yeah.
Almost finish your interview. I don't want to take most of your time. When it comes to the price of the things, everybody can afford to buy it, right?
It depends on what you buy. I mean, if you want a couture jacket, that's gonna cost more than a hat, because that takes a lot of time.
Of course.
And it's a jacket, you can wear it on both sides. So like, I'm not done with it yet because it's couture. So it depends on what you buy. But what I do, I take hourly pay, basically, because this is a job too.
Of course.
Yeah, so.
That's very interesting. So
Don't let anyone tell you that you can do 2 things. Like, I really enjoy being multidimensional. I feel like I'm taking a break from one side of my life sometimes, if one side becomes too much, and it's just nice having those 2, especially if you're a woman. It's just, you cannot have it all, you cannot, follow your dreams, do you, feel empowered, feel beautiful. All right.
That's good.
Thank you.